sent up out of there, she was very much adamant in this man staying in jail, even though he was acquitted of the harsher and more serious crimes that he was charged with, and refused to even let him go get bail until his sentencing date so he could be with his families. He have 3 kids that are dependent upon him because he's their only parent. Their mom has passed away. So, you know, that's cruel and unusual. And the MDC where he's being housed is being investigated for the conditions in there. Read up on that. They got bugs in the food, fights, unalivings, terrible conditions in that place. And that's where Puff is being held at and doing his time. But with Maureen Comey leaving, it lets people know that the executive office got their eyes on that situation. And everybody involved, including the director, the assistant director, attorney, district attorney, the district attorney, even the Judge Summarian, their eyes are on him all the way up to the White House. Because who does the executive branch report to? They see the unfair treatment that's going on here. And when I first got the news that this lady, Maureen Comey, was up out of here, my first thoughts was, this was the price she had to pay for not completing the mission that Diageo bankrolled and sent her on. Because you best believe, with the levels of corruption that's going on in the United States, that some money was exchanged to ensure that this verdict was a done deal. You have NBC putting out this documentary of darkness on Puff. You have all this negative media. You have $100 million pushed into a campaign of negativity towards Puff. You even have YouTubers who are sitting up there making up blatant lies every single day against this guy. Even if it was a good day in court for Puff's team, they would make up lies that it was a horrible day, and you know, make up horrible different lies about what's going on with the case. And there's nothing like that. There's people that are actually attending the trial that's telling you that didn't happen. What the fuck are they talking about? Are they seeing the same trial we're seeing? There's some people, like this young lady named Queen Shakira, she called her Nasty Grace. She sits up there, Nancy Grace, has not ever spent a day in the courtroom and makes up all the salacious news reporting on Puffy's case, and it's just out of control. Now, why do I take this stance on Puff? Because before this, I had no type of feeling toward Puff in terms of liking him or anything. And like a lot of people, I believe he has something to do with certain things from the past. You know what I'm saying? Plus, like I said before, I'm a Suge loyalist, so I'm definitely not a Puffy fan. But right is right and wrong is wrong. And listen, aren't we tired of seeing our black successful people get themselves in trouble? Now, granted, he would never have got caught up had he not been doing the things that he was doing for the nefarious activities that he was participating in. See, this is why it's important to read the Good Love book that I'm about to republish, because I think the world needs it. Because rule number 3 says, don't get nothing on you. Don't get nothing on you. No stains on your clothes, no gossip, no rumors, nothing. Don't get nothing on you. Don't allow anything to be out there where people can use it against you in the future. Now, Puff got some proclivities. I don't know where the hell he got them from. And he had a drug issue. Okay? So, you know, God said to him, you know, bro, you got some good in you. I'm going to pull you up out of this. And I am going to sit you down so you can get drug free. And you can see the errors of your ways. And I'm going to put all your shit on public display to embarrass you. Hopefully to shock you out of that behavior in the future. Because if he ever participate in a freak off again, he crazy. Okay? He out of his mind. You don't trust these bras, no matter how much money you have. But when your mind is addled from drugs and all that type of stuff, because prolonged drug use does addle the brain. No matter how financially well off you are, you can still have an addled brain. You understand what I'm saying? However, with Maureen Comey being terminated as she was, that is sending a message to the people on this case that they are watching him. Pam Bondi is watching this case. Even President Trump is watching this case. And shout out to President Trump, because you know what? He don't give a F. And I know everybody not fans of him either, and some of the decisions he's making. But Trump is here to do a job, and he's doing it. He's doing a job. His job is to destabilize the entire Western world, and he's doing it. And why are black people sitting back chilling? Because he ain't got shit to do with us. We already know, because it's written in the word. The last will be first, and the first will be last. God said, I will make your enemy your footstool. He also said, beware of evil and wicked doers, for soon they will be cut down like the grass. Amen. Amen. So somebody turn to your neighbor and say, ding dong, the witch is up out of here. Okay. And this is good for Puff, because whoever sentences this case in the federal court system, you have to go by the guidelines. So whoever sentenced this man, whoever gets to do the recommendation now, because Maureen Comey is gone, his sentencing guidelines for a first-time offender and the seriousness of the crime ranges from 14 to 21 months. You can do an upward departure for any type of enhancements. He shouldn't have any enhancement, because the law also says that you can't hold that video against him, and you can't hold any of the charges that he was acquitted of against him. Okay? So he could get a downward departure for the unsavory conditions of the MDC jail. So he's already, at the time of his sentence, he will have done a year and 1 month. Okay, and then on a 14 to 21 month sentence, he could be released to a halfway house, and remanded to do extended drug rehabilitation as well as anger management, and for some prolonged probationary period. And one of the counts of prostitution, the transport and prostitution, is 2 counts, so it relates to those 2 women, Jane Doe and Cassie. One of those charges has to be considered because the statute of limitation for the prostitution of transportation of prostitutes has passed, and that's with Cassie. Also, it's documented that this girl has lied on the stand. Which one? Pick one. Pick one. Mia, Capricorn Clark, all them females that got up there. The defense did an excellent job poking holes in every one of their stories. So, you know, it was a great display of defense. Thank God Puffy had enough money to get him an all-star defense team and fight for him. And, you know, imagine what he had to deal with mentally with all his personal business out there. Basically, the guy was being harassed and judged and charged for having a freaky sex life. And I'm not saying that's okay, and I'm not a proponent of that, because I don't participate in no shit like that at all. Okay, not even remotely appealing to me. However, it sets a precedent that everybody who flies out a woman, take her to dinner, get her hotel, buy her a Chanel, you could be ultimately charged with sex trafficking. It sets a precedent. So they had to acquit him, and the jury. The jury was a sharp jury, because they were average age, mid-50s, professional individuals, all had different type of professional jobs, and they got it right. They got it right. So thank God for that jury, and thank God for those people who were willing to serve on the jury. The defense had to go through 720-something people to get that 12, and even then they didn't know if they picked the right 12. But by the grace of God, they did. So shout out to Maureen Comey, with her new Indeed resume that she gonna have to put up there, and see where she gonna get a job at. She probably gonna become a news legal anchor, because you know they always land softly. They got the protection for they got the complexion for the protection, and you know she got the connection with the protection and all that. So it's just, you know, she'll land softly. So I ain't feeling sorry for her losing her job. You know, she got enough money to live off of. It ain't like the average individual that done lost their job before. You feel me? So anyway, shout out to Puff. Free Diddy. And anybody that got a problem with that, you know what you can do. Have the day that you deserve. And peace. I'll talk to y'all on the next one. Shout out to Maureen Comey. Ding dong, the witch is up out of here. Out of here. Up out of here. Peace. Yeah, this button is covered. I can't press it. But anyway, peace, y'all. Peace.